Hello everyone and welcome to Sea Power. This is a naval sim that, if I've timed everything, should be coming out tomorrow, which is the 12th of November. Now what this is a really detailed naval sim. Not quite what I'm used to, but there are plenty of aircraft in there as well. And it seems like a really good, really in-depth experience that I was very, very happy when MicroProse sent me an email offering me a review copy of the game. And so that's what we're going to be playing here. This is pre-release, so everything is with a pinch of salt. Everything is a little bit different, but it's been working really well in the tests that I've been doing so far. And so I am really looking forward to this coming out fully. So right now we've got a bunch of different scenarios that we can do here, all really quite interesting, all with their own unique challenges. But the one I'm going to take a look at today is this one, Dangerous Straits, medium difficulty, a big conflict in the Aegean Sea, which has a little bit of everything, a little bit of air, land, and of course naval, and so it kind of shows off everything this game has. So the briefing on this one is that NATO and the Warsaw Pact have gone to war, and the Russian carrier, the Kiev, is somewhere in the Aegean and is currently trying to get back through the straits into the Black Sea. We are in control of a battle group that is tasked to stop them from retreating, so that is going to be our objective today. Now we do have to watch out, there's plenty of civilian traffic, and we are going through the Aegean, and so there is a lot of islands dotted about, much of which is controlled by the Warsaw Pact. So here we go, jumping in, just to see what we've got here. We have this lovely little battle group here, led by the battleship, the Iowa. Now, yep, I was surprised when I first saw an Iowa in this mission, but it has been significantly modernised. And with any of our units here, what we can do is right-click them, go to Unit Reference. We get a nice description here, giving us a quick overview of what this ship is. So yeah, it's a World War II class destroyer, but it has been significantly modernised. Notably, it does have Sea-Wiz systems, so it can defend itself. It does have a range of weapons. It has the Tomahawk's anti-surface weapons that it can use. And it also has Harpoon long-range missile units there, so it can do a hell of a lot of damage, all in rather a short space of time, if it can find the enemy. And it does, of course, have its big cannons, which it can absolutely use. Now it is escorted, it's not out here alone. We do have a whole host of escorts, and because I'm not very familiar with Cold War shipping, really nice that I can bring up this information at any point to help fill me in on what these ships do. Have all sorts of weapons. Again, I'm not really familiar with naval weapons, but I can just click on any of these to get information there. And a whole suite of sensors on everything that can be turned on or off. Now, just to begin with, what I'm going to do with this main group is I'm just going to give them formation orders here to turn on their radar systems. Okay, we've got both air search radar and surface search radar enabled, just to keep an eye out, just in case anything is on its way. That's not the only thing I have here. We do have multiple other units around. I've got a pair of these P3s, which are currently hunting for surface targets. They are trying to find where the USSR fleet is, and starting to pick up some things. We've had some reports of EM emissions on this island here, which we'll need to keep an eye out for. At the time it was not identified, but some kind of missions coming from that island. We do have radar contacts of something in the air here, and so we'll need to keep an eye out for that. It's not yet been identified, but is being picked up by one of my aircraft. And just as I was going through that, we are starting to get more ESM contacts here, so there definitely is some kind of radar system over here. And they've just been classified as a SAM site, so we know that they're a SAM site on that island. We don't have a perfect location. These rings are the area this target is in. The little marker is just at the centre of that ring, but we don't have a firm location. The more detail we get on it, the more we record this, the narrower and narrower that will come down, and eventually it'll give us a good solution. Now, very importantly here, I do have aircraft. The first ring here is actually set up to do an actual attack. They are armed with mostly harms and cluster munitions. They do have some AIM-9s for self-defense, but hopefully we're going to keep them out of a fight. These are not fighters. And they are backed up with this Prowler flight, which is our electronic warfare setup. They do also have harms, so they can contribute that way, but mostly what these are going to be trying to do is give jamming cover for the attack flight. Now what I want to do is get my battle group out of this little cluster of islands here, and I want to navigate them through this estuary out into the open, so that their radar is actually somewhat useful. And ultimately what I'm trying to do is stop the Kiev reaching this position here, because from there it can escape. Now we can see here this is going to take quite a while. Currently the time is 10:06 Zulu. These markers on all my waypoints will be when my various units will be reaching that location. So we can see we're about an hour away from our little fleet here making it out of the bay. Now the good news is I don't have to sit around for an hour. I do have speed controls, so I can just start speeding things up. So we are starting to get more EM emissions here, and very importantly we have located a warship over here. There's also a very large radar echo, so it does look like the enemy fleet is in this position here. So the air units here have been identified as helicopters, which is all fine. Oh, and all of a sudden things just got a little bit worrying. We have had missiles launched at us. So Vampire, Vampire, Vampire is a call out that we have these anti-ship missiles on the way. My ships are currently set to weapons tight, which means they will automatically defend themselves, but they won't attack anything. And that is good, that is exactly what I want. And we can see here we are firing out missiles against their missiles. And nicely enough, that is all of them. Now we did get a sight of the silo over here. Now we do have range on it, so I can open up. Just gonna give it some shots with my large scale guns here. So here's a little unit that we have spotted. There we go. Took it out with some good old-fashioned guns, so that's good. Right, now what I want to do is this plane I'm going to get to actually come around, mostly to try and spot for anything else around here. Do want this plane over here to continue on. I want it to keep an eye on this formation. And I do have to watch out. We do have civilian traffic in the area. I can't just be firing on every last little thing. And so I do need to keep an eye out here. I've got some civilian aircraft coming over. Just got another Vampire call out. They have launched missiles. Looks like that has come from their surface fleet. Yeah, they've launched a massive strike here. We did detect them early, so we are already firing on them.
Vampire, bearing 2. Birds away, track 7024. Contact faded. Track 7026.
So there's a lot heading in, but we are starting to take them out. More Vampires being launched over here. This is a lot that is coming in on my fleet.
7028. New ESM contact. Bearing. Designate track 7029. Track 7007 is classified.
Oh, we've missed.
Birds away, track 7.
Oh, this one's getting dangerous. This one here is now diving in towards ours. Heading straight for the battleship.
Birds away, track 7.
Ah, thankfully we took that out. Okay, so we fought off that initial lot. Alright, now what I'm actually going to do is try and get my attack floats to nip through this area. And I am just going to get the Wisconsin group here. It's going to fire off some missiles to try and take out this SA-6 site. Alright, so the main weapons I have for standoff engagement of ground targets are these Tomahawk C's, so I am going to let a bunch of those rip off here. Firing a couple of these at each of them. As I'm approaching this opening, I am just going to go to my formation and edit my formation and just draw everyone in a little bit closer. Currently our formation is too wide to actually fit through here, and I'd prefer to keep these ships in formation. So this is just nicely, you just click and drag to set the new formation. There we go. Nice and much more closely clustered. Yeah, so over here this is definitely this enemy group. I'm assuming the very large contact is the carrier, so that is our primary target. Oh, we've got more of the Vampires on the way. There's clearly something else on this island. We do seem to be handling these fine though, so I'm not too concerned about that. Just picked up another SAM site here on this island, so good thing I'm threading the distance between them, hoping that these radar echoes down here aren't anything too serious. A little bit nervous of those.
Hostile helo.
Not too worried about these helicopters they've got. I'm guessing they are just there to scout around for me.
0, 1,
So not too worried. Much more concerned about
0, 3, 7.
getting rid of this SAM site, because then I can whip my planes through quite nicely. Okay, these are just merchant ships down here.
Contact faded. Track 7, 0, 1, 0. Track 7, 0, 3, 2 is classified. Neutral merchant.
So we have my Tomahawks coming in. They are firing back. Just like I was launching defences, they are launching defences. Nicely though, I think they're losing their radar contact as they're coming over this ridge here, because they're just dipping into the sea afterwards. And this is an SA-3, so it needs the tracking radar, and these things are just coming in too low for the tracking radar to actually see. So that is looking fairly hopeful. These Tomahawks are really quite nice. They will do terrain following here on approach, so you can see them nicely coming along there. Again, they are firing a lot of missiles at us, but so far they're all going dumb as they are trying to get down. Some explosions there, but I'm pretty sure those were just their missiles missing. Got a good hit there. And this one's going in for the search radar. Didn't quite get it. Did get the SAM though. Okay, that's both of the tracking radars are down. The search radar is still intact.
7. Contact faded. Track hit track 7, 0.
But that is fine. Without the tracking radar, the other radar isn't going to do much good. So now as long as I give this one over here a wide berth, I should be able to get through quite nicely.
Birds away, track 7, 0, 4.
Yeah, they definitely still have some anti-ship thing over here.
Contact faded. Track 7, 0, 4, 0.
Not too much I can do.
0, 2, 5 is classified. Hostile warship.
They have identified one of their warships.
0, 3, 6. Engaging track 7, 0.
Alright, I'm just going to fire off some more Tomahawks. I can't target their ships with these, so I'm just going to fire at the other SAM site here.
Engaging track 7, 0, 0, 6.
My main attack though is going to be with these planes for now.
Roger. Turn 2, 5.
So I'm just getting Prowler Light to go in. Initially I want them to set up. They should be jamming.
0, 0, 6. 0, 5.
There we go, we now have visual of the fleet, so this is definitely the Kyiv here. So this is our primary target and it's got a bunch of escorts around it.
Track 7, 0, 5, 1. New visual contact. Designate track 7, 0, 5, 4. Track 7.
It's seen one of the ship launchers, so I'm just going to launch on that.
Engaging track 7, 0. Engaging track 7, 0, 5, 3. Track 7, 0.
Right,
5
Prowler Flight
is classified. Hostile.
is going to go weapons free.
Roger. Roger. Turn 3, 5, 3.
As is my Prowler Flight. Got a second missile site up.
Engaging track 7, 0, 5, 4. Contact faded. Track 7, 0, 3, 8.
Alright, Prowler Flight is beginning to jam, which is exactly what I want.
Whip it away. Contact faded.
And nicely here, Prowler Flight have just fired off their various magnums. It's exactly what I want.
Turn 293. Whip it away. New ESM contact. Bearing. Designate track 7055. Engaging track 7054. Contact faded. Track 703.
I'm just going to tell the Wisconsin to go weapons free at this point, so it can open fire.
Track 7006. Contact
Yeah, so it is now firing on the Russian fleet as well.
Whip it away. New ESM contact. Bearing. Designate track 7058. Whip it away.
Oh, looks like we did score a hit there on one of the escorts with one of the AGMs.
Designate track.
Lot of fire coming in on everything else.
Contact faded. Track 7053.
Oh, it's getting close, getting close. I think that's been a couple of hits actually. Yep, Kiev is burning.
Whip it away. Engaging track 700.
Right, so all of A7 flight is now going to engage the Kiev.
006.
Prowler flight is just there jamming.
Track 7054.
We have so many missiles in the air right now. Really just trying to overwhelm their defences. There we go, that's another good hit. Multiple hits here coming in all over. Now these are just the anti-radiation missiles. These aren't huge warhead yields. But they're doing damage, and that's what they need to do. They need to weaken the enemy air defense here. Which is exactly what they've been doing. Opening up the way for the actual fighters to come in and strike the actual killing blow in a second.
Same launch.
Alright, they are firing SAMs at us.
Going down, punching out.
We are losing planes here. It's going to be a very costly attack.
006.
Not entirely sure what the Wisconsin's doing. It seems to have gotten itself a little bit confused.
Hostile helo. Contact faded. Track 7065. Contact faded. Bombs away. Engaging track 7006. Track 706. Bombs away. Engaging track 70.
Right, several of our aircraft are dropping their bombs now. Kiev is burning.
Contact faded. Hit track 7022. Contact faded. Track
Did definitely get a hit there.
69. Bombs away. Guns. New visual going down, punching out. Bombs away.
Nice hit there across the deck.
Track 70.
So we're taking heavy casualties, but the Kiev is heavily burning here. That's what I've been doing wrong. I was giving orders to the wrong things.
Turn to course. 0. Turn to course. 0. 1.
That's why that all started going a little bit wrong.
Contact faded. Bombs away. Contact faded. Track engaging. Hit track 7052. Contact faded. Track 7067. 1. New visual contact.
So our aircraft have taken a lot of losses, but they have heavily damaged the enemy here.
70.
Don't know why he's going for guns instead of his bombs, but anyway.
06.
I gave him orders to go for bombs, but nope.
708.
I don't know what's happened to the fleet positioning here. They have gotten themselves really confused and they largely just seem to be ignoring my orders.
019. Hell my.
Yeah, this one to leave the formation before he crashes.
046. Hell my.
Yeah, I think this may have gotten a little bit confused here. The ships don't want to navigate.
Contact faded.
Uh,
7053.
this guy's not taking any damage, but he is just refusing to turn.
4. I'll stop maneuvering eye.
He's refusing to come to a stop. He's just going to ram there. I have no idea what's going on.
058.
So I was all up for trying to get my boats out and chase down the damaged fleet and finish it off there, but try as I might, I just spent a long time trying to get the boats to obey orders and they just wouldn't. Don't know if I was doing something wrong or if they had been bugged somehow. It is early access, so may well be. But just wanted to show that this could work. This is actually one that I did the previous day. I wasn't recording with audio here, I was just trying to get used to the controls, learn what I was trying to do. So this went pretty much the same approach, I was just pretty much replaying what I did. And here we have that fighter wing coming in and dropping their bombs. Nice enough this set, although they have taken heavier casualties on the way in, they do end up mostly concentrating on the Kiev instead of splitting their fire. Not entirely sure what I did differently for that, but nicely there, it gets massive hit. And I am pretty sure this freeze here is the Kiev going down and just the mission crashing instead of actually moving on to the final debrief screen. So I think that was mission complete, just not very cleanly and a bit awkwardly there. But still, had a lot of fun with that. Really interesting game. Is just definitely early access still. Now, just before I do jump off, I do just want to show off one last little thing here. And that is this Top Gun mission. It's just a really cute little mission. It's not one that you can particularly do a huge amount with, because the aircraft mostly take control of themselves once they get into a dogfight. So yeah, pretty much exactly the setup from Top Gun. What we have here is that Iceman is leading a 2-ship of F-14s investigating what appeared to be 2 bogies. Maverick has been scrambled to assist him, and really what we need to do is try and survive with Iceman until Maverick can turn up. Ideally splash all the Mavericks with all the bandits with Iceman. We'll just see how this goes. So this one isn't really showing off the sea aspect, but showing off the aircraft aspect, which is probably a lot more interesting for people who generally watch this channel. So here on this one I've got a few planes that I can play around with. So I've got my little 2-ship up front. Maverick is coming in way back here trying to catch up. And we've got a E2 providing some cover there. Now looking at the loadouts here, what I've got is 4 AIM-9Ls and 4 AIM-7Ms. Now if I want, I can click on any of the weapons. It shows me the weapon engagement ranges. So you can see there that I've got nice engagement range almost at the waypoint. Right now I've got the radar turned off, so the first thing I want to do is get all of my F-14s turning on their race air search radars. Alright, and let time continue a little bit. Immediately we have contacts incredibly close off our nose. These are the quote MiG-28s, which are, yep, just like in the film, are F-5s with some Russian missiles strapped to their wings. Do need to note they do have a couple extra missiles here since they're not technically F-5s, so I do need to be aware of that. And what I'm going to do is just start firing off some AIM-7s at range here.
Engaging track.
So there we go, I've ordered each of them to fire off a Fox 1 at 2 different aircraft. Let's see how this goes. There we go. They volleyed nicely away, missiles going in. Now I'm just going to set these guys to weapons free. At this point we're going head on. Firing off some more. Good splash there. Second aim 7's looking good. Okay, now they have fired on me. And there are a lot of them. So missiles being exchanged back and forth, but there are a lot of missiles that they have just fired. So I'm going to go evasive here.
Roger, turn 209.
So he's going to turn hard. He's going full afterburner.
Roger, turn
Other guy's turning right, and again, full afterburner. All the Fox 1s have been fired,
chaff out.
and I can order my guys to chaff.
Chaff out. Kill track 7002 is history.
They don't really appear to be dodging. Iceman just got splashed. So let's give that another little bit of a try. It's the same thing, but I'm splitting my guys up a bit now, doing some preemptive maneuvers. Alright, we know these guys are hostile, so I'm just firing into them while turning away. Yeah, they seem to override my orders once they're engaged, so I can't order them to disengage. Okay, so pretty much they're just the AI takes control here, so we can't give too much manual orders here. Just gonna tell my guys to both weapons free. We survived the merge this time at least, because they didn't quite go so much head on, and now it's just up to these guys to try and clear up the fight. Maverick is coming in. Gonna set him to weapons free, so as soon as he can, he will engage. Nice, knocked out another couple of them. So the AI is doing a good job here. Multiple planes going down. Oh, he's getting launched on. Lost one of them. Nice. Iceman gets off another missile. He is running low though. Pure vertical climb, Fox 2. See if I can get to that missile. And ignore the flares, there is another one down. Right, only one fighter left. Maverick has already launched his missile, so Iceman here just needs to survive a little bit longer. There we go. Excellent. So pretty much recreated the film there. It's all a little bit chaotic there. Cute that they've included that. That's not really the main point of the game, I think. Definitely interested to see what else comes with the full version. There is a full mission editor, so you can put together your own little exercises here. So far, quite a lot is modelled around Europe and the Middle East. Certainly some areas with a lot less modelling, but these are kind of the main areas. It's meant to be simulating a war between the Warsaw Pact and NATO, so a lot of fighting meant to be going on around here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see more of this, do let me know down below, and until next time, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.